Hello everyone, my name is Kiran Basainat and I am an application engineer for Micrographics. Today we're going to have a look at how we can utilize the styles library and standards within Inventor. Now, the styles and standards editor manages the appearance of various drawing elements, including parts, edges, dimensions, components, layers, and all kinds of different annotations. Now, Inventor does come with its own default standards, including ISO and ANSI, just to name a few. Now, sometimes we want to utilize the styles and standards and create and customize our own that we can use within the company. Now, one very important thing to remember is that your styles editor, that any changes that you make, that your project needs to be in a read-write environment. Now, when I talk about the environment, you'll notice I've got just a normal project open. To go to the project, we can go to project and settings. When I talk about the environment, I talk about the file path and the workspace within that project. You'll notice there's an option that is use style library. Now, in most cases, it would be on read only. Now, any modification that's being made in this environment would not be able to be saved because it's read only. If you change it to read write by simply right clicking on it, you'll be able to make modifications as needed. I'm just going to open and browse this new template. You'll notice I'm in the metric and I'm going to use the ISO IDW. Now once the ISO IDW is open, you can make modifications to your field text as needed or required. You can also go and create and make modifications or delete the border. You'll also be able to go and make modifications to your title block, where you can edit and make modifications as needed. I'm not going to make any changes. Now to access the styles and standards library, we simply go to Manage tab, the styles and standards panel, and open the styles editor. Now you'll notice that I did select the ISO standard, and that is the default standard that opens. Now, if you want to create your own standards, you can simply right click and choose new standards. Once you create a new standard, you'll be able to create a name and select what the standard should be based off. So you can select one of the previous or Inventor default standards to base it on that standard. I'm going to press cancel. I've already created one, so I'm going to right click and just say active. Now you'll notice I've got a newly created company standard. In the general tab, you'll be able to see your units, see your line weights, your text height, your scale, and your section hatch angle. For instance, if you look at scale, you can go and create a new scale. When you select new, you can customize a new scale and apply and create your own scale. On the View Preference tab, you'll be able to see the View Label defaults. Be able to go to your default thread edge, your projection type, available styles, your object defaults, material patterns. Now, when you want to make modifications within your styles library, for instance, if you want to create a new style within the balloon, do not make any modifications to the created standards. Simply right-click and create a new style. When you create a new style, you'll be able to make and select a name. I'm going to say cancel, and here I've already got a company standard that I have created. I can simply click on it and make the modifications as needed. For instance, I can change the leader style, I can change the text style, I can change the balloon shape, and you'll notice the comments that says it's based on that. Now, for instance, if your balloons are based of ANSI, you can make that comment for future reference. Now, if I go to edit styles, you'll notice that it actually takes me to the general leader styles. Now, I do not want to make any modifications to the existing data. I right click and choose to create a new style. And in this instance, I'll make it company standard. Yes, I want to add it to the standard. And now I can make my modifications to the new standard that I've just created. Now that would be the same in every instance where you make modifications. If you make modifications to your dimensions, you want to go and create a new standard to make your modifications to. When we look at the whole table, you will want to right click and create new style. And that is where you want to make all your modifications to. You do not want to override the existing data or the existing styles within Inventor. If you want to make modifications to your text, right click, create a new style, and create your new own company style and give it a unique name so that in future that you know what has been created. You can also make your comments as needed. When you are done, you can simply click on save and close. If you have made any changes and you would like that to save it to your existing styles library, you can simply click on the save. Now the save option saves the newly created styles to the style library. And just one important thing to remember is if you named it something that is similar or not similar, the same name as something that's already existing within your styles library, it will override that existing data. The existing style will be replaced with the new one. It's quite important to remember that when you customize and create your own standards, that every selection that you want to make modifications to, that you create your own. Do not overwrite the existing data. The reason why is if you make any modifications to existing standards within Inventor, and in the future you upgrade to a newer version of Inventor, a new year of Inventor, there might be issues with your migration when it comes to your styles. When you open an existing template, you might find that it says this template or even a part does have a small error with certain styles or design data and so on. Now this actually can prevent that. After you've made your modifications and you saved it, another thing to remember is you only saved the styles library. You did not save any templates. To save it as a template that you can utilize in the future, you can go to File, Save As, and choose Save Copy as a template. Here you can give it now a unique name and the folder that you would want to save it in. So you are creating and generating your own template with the existing styles that you've just generated. And then you'll be able to utilize that in the future. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.